You are now listening to T on 1 Radio, the talk show podcast station, bringing you Tony on 1 podcast with open discussions, hot topics, as well as information, daily health, as well as your news report. All information and resources are based on the opinions of the host, unless otherwise noted. This podcast may contain some quotations, images, and/or excerpts from copyrighted material. These uses fall well within the copyright doctrine of fair use. All information is intended to motivate, encourage, and inspire positive change and a healthier lifestyle. Welcome to Tony on 1 podcast. Hi, and welcome to my podcast. Thank you for tuning in, and welcome to all my new listeners and all of my day ones. Glad to have you here. Today we will be discussing making healthier food choices with the family, as well as discrimination, having to deal with it while trying to escape and run for your life, as well as our BS of the day. So hang around and let's get started. This is Daily Health. Now, today for your daily health, I definitely want to talk about this because I know having a family and when you're trying to eat healthy with small children, that does not always go as planned, and it can be challenging, but that's okay. But I would love to give this information to help parents and kids make healthier food choices. Now, kids at different age have so many different ideas of what they want to eat, and that's where they think it stops. Everything else could be as if you were in the WWE trying to get them to eat, but that's okay. Now, for parents of preschoolers, they pretty much learn from watching what you eat. If you're eating hot dogs, that's what they want. If you're eating steak, that's what they want. If you're eating sweet and sour shrimp with steamed rice and extra carrots, then that's what they're eating. So if you eat fruits and vegetables, your kids definitely will too. And let's be honest here, that's just not for little kids. That's for older kids as well. Now, they take their lead from you. So eat the fruits and the veggies. If you don't like fruits and veggies, your children will hate fruits and veggies because they know nothing of it or have to even deal with it. Now, another thing is cooking and eating together. Cooking together can be fun and as well as bonding time. So, cook together, eat together. You're going to talk together. Make mealtime a family time. It can be fun. And when it's fun, it doesn't seem like chores or work or you're even being forced to do it. Make it a tradition. So make meals and memories together. And it's definitely a lesson they'll use for a lifetime. Now, a certain amount of feeding responsibility comes into play. Let them learn by serving themselves. They've been watching you. You've been teaching them little things here and there. So let them learn by serving themselves. It's a very teachable moment. Let your kids serve themselves at dinner. Teach them to take small amounts at first. Tell them they can go get more if they're still hungry. And it's kind of a form of, teaching portion control, which we can all use at any age. Sometimes new foods do take a little time. They got to kind of warm up to it. Like they did growing from a little baby when they kind of didn't want to go to nobody until they got to know them. So give them a little time. Kids don't always take to new foods right away. Offer them different things, vegetables, fruits, new things. Give them a taste at first and be patient with them. And that's less stress off you as the parent as well. Patience works better than pressure. Offer your children new foods. Then let them choose how much to eat. They're more likely to enjoy a food when eating it, and it's their own choice. It also helps them learn to be independent in a good and positive way. Now, for parents of elementary school aged kids, some of those things still work, but it's okay to add a little something with that. So if you want kids to reach for a healthy snack, make sure you've got some fruit and vegetables that are in reach and, pardon me, pretty much ready. They kind of want something kind of fast and on the go. Now, when they come home hungry, have fruits and veggies ready, and they'll grab that. Because they're going to go for what's quick, easy, simple, that sort of thing. And, well, let your kids be produce pickers. Yeah, I know. But let them. When you're in the grocery store, let them pick some of the fruits and veggies. You never know. They might grab something that you don't necessarily buy, and they're curious about it. Run with that curiosity and see what happens. As a family, you learn and grow together. So trying new foods, you could set a new tradition. Now, they're still growing, so help your kids grow strong. Serve fat-free or low-fat milk at meals. You can give them options. Now, let's say for 8 to 10-year-old children, they're going to play hard, so they definitely need to eat smart. Offer milk at meals. Fuel up with milk and meals and soar through the day like a rocket ship. Sounds goofy, but it's actually true because it's fuel. So if you go through this with your kids, I'm pretty sure that you'll be surprised to see just how good and easy this can be for the entire family. You can have fun with it. It's okay. That's the best part of it. And when you do, they'll appreciate and thank you for it later. And so will you in your health. You have been listening to Daily Health News Report. Current events, issues, and the headlines. In the headlines, another ugly side of war that tends to show up every time is discrimination. As different minorities or refugees, if you will, try to escape from Ukraine. I mean, that's reasonable, right? It's a war. We want to leave. The shade of your skin tone should not be a determining factor in whether you are free to escape or not. Free to escape. Do you understand how powerful those words really are when you think about it? You say, I'm free. Free to do what? For them, when the war hit, they did not feel free. Free to escape. Now, I'm going to let you guys and gals listen to the audio, courtesy of CBS, Saturday morning.
Welcome back to CBS Saturday Morning. The humanitarian crisis in Ukraine has put the spotlight on alleged racism. The concern, immigrants from Africa and other people of color who've called Ukraine home. Now, as millions flee the war-torn nation, there are accusations of discrimination towards these refugees. In this country, it's gotten the attention of the NAACP and the Urban League. They've written to the president of the EU, calling for fair and humane treatment for all. From virtually day one of the war, reports of discrimination at the Ukraine border began to surface.
Mostly they would consider white people first, Indian people, Arabic people, before black people.
We went to the train station and they will not let us in. And when they did let us in, they were like, you have to give us money because this is not for free for you because you are foreign. This is not free for you.
On social media, some wrote it off as Russian propaganda. Ukraine's Minister of Foreign Affairs, Dmytro Kuleba, tweeted this video March 2nd, stating an emergency hotline had been established specifically for African, Asian, and other students wishing to leave Ukraine.
I just feel deep sadness.
Historian Kimberly St. Julian Varnon has been studying race, foreign policy, and Russia for years, and called Ukraine home back in 2013.
When I initially saw the videos, I was just like, not again. It's one of those things where if you are a person of color and you work in Eastern Europe and you research Eastern Europe, racism isn't new. I mean, the racial discrimination is not new, but to see it on display and being exacerbated by war, it was just really heart-wrenching.
Especially, she says, when considering Syrian refugees who in December sought help at the Poland-Belarus border with little to no success.
So I try to point out this crisis we saw in December because it is very much the same situation of people fleeing a war and needing protection and care, but they're not getting that.
Mm-hmm. What is the difference and why is there a difference?
I think the key difference is race and ethnicity. I mean, and we've seen it in reporting and how people have said this, but also like the Bulgarian prime minister saying, these aren't the refugees we're used to. These are educated refugees.
While social media has helped expose racial discrimination, St. Julian Varnon says it has also been used by Russia to spread disinformation.
They use these videos of these African students and these Indian students talking about racism and their experiences of racism, and they're using it to undermine the Ukrainian war effort.
That is amazing. You cannot get out, or you can, but you've already paid once, and you should pay me instead of the company to let you go because you're not white, because you're a foreigner. But all lives are supposed to matter. That's what I've heard. But as we all know, that has been crap out, so to speak, for a long time now. And no, racism isn't new. Now there's proof. Now there's proof. No one should have to feel like they have to pay extra to escape, or feel like they're not free to escape a war-torn country or whatever, just because they have to wait for another human race to go first. So uncool. So uncool. No one should be treated that way. But it is there. And it's time for a change. This has been your news report. The current events, issues, and headlines.
Who the hell? What the hell? That's some bullshit. You big dummy. Bullshit of the day.
In BS of the day, we have a man who was caught on video killing his estranged wife will be or possibly be leaving prison early to live with his sister in Las Vegas. Now, this is what the Louisiana Parole Board has decided. If I sound a little funny, not only am I cold, I think this is some serious BS. How the hell is this a good idea? You releasing a man who was caught on video killing his estranged wife. The parole board. Now, it was a unanimous vote on Wednesday to release Anthony Knox, 59 years old, of Leesville, Louisiana. Now, this is, even though he decided to deny killing his Army staff sergeant wife. Now, this was in 1997, right? But it's a good chance this man may be getting out. Now, he has served 24 and a half years of a 40-year sentence. Now, again, I will say this. He was caught on camera. Tell me this ain't no bullshit. You can't tell me that. He did a little over half, so we're going to let him out. And the reasoning behind this is a whole separate pile of bullshit. Okay, so these are the conditions surrounding the parole board's reasoning for going ahead and granting his early release. He must keep taking psychiatric medications and regularly seeing mental health professionals in Nevada. That's where his sister lives, Nevada. Now, all the members said they approved it because psychiatric professionals said that he recently had requested a change from a daily pill to a bi-monthly injection. Like, seriously? Seriously. No, seriously. Now, after he had got arrested to begin with, let's go there. Because I'm going to keep saying, seriously. But after his arrest, Knox went to the psychiatric hospital for defendants found mentally incompetent for trial. And he was, at a later date, diagnosed with schizophrenia. Now, although he was found competent in 2001 and pleaded guilty in 2005 to manslaughter. But this is the real kicker. Shit kicker, that is. Knox said he didn't have a schizophrenia issue and had only been diagnosed with delusions. Knox? Delusions are one of the symptoms of schizophrenia. So I don't understand that part. And I don't think he does either. But seriously, parole board, seriously, Louisiana, seriously, because he willing to switch from a pill to a shot. So, question, does that mean everybody else that's in the criminal justice system right now, if they switch from a pill to an injection, will they be able to get early release? And I do mean everybody. It's a legitimate question. For you all that's listening, especially this segment, let me know how y'all truly feel about this. This is one of the top BS of the day stories for me. This is done it for 2022. I'm not sure what else could happen because there's so much going on daily. But because he wanted to switch from a pill to an injection, it's okay to let out a murderer who says he's not schizophrenic, but he's agreeing with the delusions. And one more note to this before I end this. Now, with so many other BS of the day stories, I can find mugshots of the people I'm talking about. I can't find one for him. I'm going to have to dig deeper because this is very odd. I mean, you killed a member of the army. Shouldn't somebody from there might have wanted to stand up and say something on her behalf? Or is that just, I don't know, maybe that's just wishful thinking, but I mean, it's a question. I mean, did her family say something about this? Like nobody just dropped the ball on this? Because this sounds like it runs so much more deeper than what meets the eye. Meaning what's out there in the news. What's out there mainstream. I'll be honest, it sounds like it's so much more to this. That it runs so much deeper. Because I don't know many people who locked up can get out without doing they full time. Especially seeing this, what is that? He hit her with a, what did he hit her with? Hit her with something, shot her with something. Well, let's switch over here, because I think this other one said it. Dang. He followed his wife to the store, which was a 24-hour. Sat in the parking lot. That sounds premeditated. And when she returned to her car, he approached her from behind. He attacked her and he shot her. But he can get out because he switched from a pill to an injection. No, sir, I'll take the shot in the ass. Just let me out. So we can do that now. Really? Louisiana? Really? Parole board? Really? Nobody's questioning this? Nobody's against this? Come on. This is some BS. Let's not reward him for bad behavior. Let's not reward him for something that he should be trying to do anyway for himself. But that's what they did. That was just my opinion. Y'all tell me what y'all think about this.
Who the hell? What the hell? That's some bullshit. You big dummy. Bullshit of the day.
Listener's voice. Listeners are encouraged and welcome to call in live at 318-315-3971. Phone calls may be monitored and recorded for quality, safety, and recording purposes. Your continued participation in that telephone call serves as express consent to be monitored or recorded. You can also send in your voice clips. You can inbox the radio station Facebook page as well as email TON_RADIOSTATION @gmail.com. That's tion1radiostation@gmail.com. Tion1 Radio, the talk show podcast station, where we're on one, and so are our listeners. You have been listening to Tony on One podcast, brought to you by Tion1 Radio, the talk show podcast station. Thank you for taking the time to listen to my talk show. I wish you the best, and don't allow anyone to fuck up your vibes. I've been your host, Tony Williams.